Oh, what's going on, guys? Ep.29 here with a brand new video for you guys, but first things first, as always, hope you guys are having an amazing day. So in today's video, we are going to be jumping into episode 29 of our Bloons BTD6 Let's Play, and for today's Let's Play, we will be jumping into Resort Chimps mode. So for this mode, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We're actually going to be doing a 2 towers Chimps. Because, I mean, we're playing on one of the easiest maps in Bloons BTD6, and we still don't have the 2 Towers Chimps achievement, so I figured it would be a really good play to go ahead and get that 2 Towers achievement out of the way, because it's going to hook us up with a little bit more monkey money or an extra monkey knowledge point. So, I am going to be going for the Prince of Darkness and Apache Prime strat. Now, I've already tested this out on my other account, just to make sure it would work, and it worked with little to no issues. It did get a little bit sketchy during the later rounds, but I am going to be paying attention just in case I need to do a home reset, which of course, if I do need to do a home reset, it's not going to be the end of the world. I just need to go back and get the actual black border for the map. Alright guys, so while we are starting off here, I am going to be starting off with a wizard monkey. Now this is where things get a little bit sketchy, because we need to rely on our wizard monkey to do that little bit of an explosion bit in these upcoming rounds to go ahead and pop like green balloons and pop yellow balloons, because unfortunately the wizard monkey isn't as strong as we would like him to be, but he is still pretty strong to the point that he's able to deal with all these rounds by himself. There we go, round 9. Now the next thing that I'm saving up for is I am saving up for the wall of fire, because I want to get this wall of fire going as soon as possible. So as soon as, or the moment I can afford to buy my wall of fire, I'm going to go ahead and buy it. Now the positioning of your wizard monkey is very important, because you want to make sure that his wall of fire is being placed like right about here or anywhere on this outside edge here, because of course you want to make sure that your wall of fire is affecting as many balloons as you can possibly get it to affect. Right guys, here we are on round 11, and our wizard monkey is still holding up strong. Once we get the towers down that we're going to go ahead and get down, I am going to do quite a bit of a speedy bit, but for the most part I am going to keep you guys here all the way up until the point that I feel confident in the fact that we're going to be able to beat this 2 towers Chimps. Alright, there we go guys, we officially have our wall of fire, and now that we have our wall of fire, we are setting extremely good. The next thing that I want to go for is I want to go for our heli pilot, because like I was saying, I am going to be going for the Prince of Darkness, and I am going to be going for the Apache Prime. Now the only issue with this strategy is it does get a little bit sketchy during the late game, because there's multiple times where the Prince of Darkness just falls Prince of Darkness doesn't have any balloons in his graveyard, so we're only relying on our Apache Prime to do damage to the balloons, more specifically like round 100 against the bad balloon or round 97 against the reinforced ZOMGs. So as long as everything goes according to plan, then we should be fine. Now I did end up upgrading our wizard monkey all the way up to a monkey sense, and the reason why I did that is because I don't want to worry about the camo balloons. So to make sure that we don't need to worry about the camo balloons, I did end up grabbing that monkey sense. Alright, we almost have enough money for our heli pilot, and while we are saving up for our heli pilot and we're getting all of these starting things done, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this series. I really appreciate it. If you guys are enjoying the series, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe as well. I do upload quite a bit of Bloons BTD6 content. But anyways guys, now that we have our heli pilot, we are setting in an even better position. And now the next thing that I want to go for is I want to go ahead and upgrade our heli pilot to Pursuit. We don't necessarily need to worry too much about camo detection at this current point in time, but we will need to worry about it at some point. So as soon as I can afford to buy my Pursuit, I'm going to go ahead and buy my Pursuit. I'm not going to be going for bigger jets and camo detection just yet. I want to go for Razor Rotors next, because I want to make sure that we have enough lead popping power in order to deal with some of these upcoming rounds. Because although we do have the Fire Whiz, and I'm fairly certain the Fire Whiz wouldn't struggle one bit in dealing with the lead balloons, it would be nice to have a guaranteed lead popping power like the Razor Rotors on the heli pilot. So guys, here we are around 29, and we almost have enough money to afford our Razor Rotors. Alright, we are officially $180 away, and we're getting closer and closer. It's, like, this 2 towers Chimp strat is so easy to pull off. So we officially have our Razor Rotors now. The next thing that I want to go for is I want to go for bigger jets with our IFR, Once we get our IFR on our heli pilot, we are going to be going straight for our Prince of Darkness. So guys, now that we have our IFR, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a speedy bit all the way up until the point where I can afford to buy our Prince of Darkness. So I'll go ahead and bring you guys back as soon as I have my Prince of Darkness. Alright guys, here we are on round 52, and as you guys can see, we now have the Prince of Darkness. Now that we have the Prince of Darkness, the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're just going to be upgrading our heli pilot all the way up to Apache Prime. I also wanted to say is that just because I'm using the Prince of Darkness with the Apache Prime, this isn't the only strategy that will work for the Two Towers Chimps. Now another strat that could work, I didn't do any testing on it because I wanted to make sure that I would have a higher chance of getting this to work, but I'm fairly certain you would also be able to use the Glaive Lord for the Two Towers Chimps, because the Prince of Darkness paired with the Glaive Lord is kind of strong. Another Two Towers Chimps that you guys could have gone for is you guys could have went for the Dark Champion as well, and I know for a fact that the Dark Champion would have worked as well because it is a Two Towers Chimps that I've done in the past. As far as that, I don't know. Or I think we could have used the MAD as well. Also, you could use the Ray of Doom. The only issue with the Ray of Doom is that it would be super sketchy, because you would need to make sure that you microed the tier 4 plasma, the tier 4 top pass Dartling Gunner. Once you start already getting towards the higher tiered rounds, all the way up until the point where you can afford to buy the Ray of Doom. Apart from that, we couldn't go for the Flying Fortress. The only way that we would have been able to go for the Flying Fortress is if we had Sada, but unfortunately we weren't able to afford Sada, which isn't that big a deal. Alright, so this is going to be our first speed bump here. Obviously our Prince of Darkness ran out of his undead army, so now we need to hope that our Prince of Darkness gets just enough of his undead army in order to beat round 60. But as soon as we get the tier 4 Apache Dart ship, then we'll be setting in a much better position. Alright guys, like I was saying, the next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be saving up to buy the Apache Dart ship and then the Apache Prime. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward all the way up until probably like round 90, round 95, and I'll bring you guys back as soon as I'm there. Alright guys, here we are on round 91. I know I said I was going to bring you back on round 95, but I was just like so excited I couldn't wait to get you guys back here. But anyways, you guys can see right now we have our Apache Prime upgraded to IFR, and we also have our Prince of Darkness here. So we're sitting extremely good as far as like our popping power, the only thing we need to do is we need to rely on our Apache Prime and our Prince of Darkness to go ahead and finish up this 2 Towers Chimps. Alright guys, so I also wanted to ask, those of you who are into the finer things in life, like the 2 Towers Chimps, what is your favorite 2 Towers Chimps strategy? Now, this isn't my favorite. I think my favorite is probably a combination of Sato with the Dark Champion, but that's just me. It's not the easiest 2 Towers Chimps, but it is definitely one of the most fun. This one that I'm doing right here with the Prince of Darkness paired with the Apache Prime is definitely probably one of the easiest, because you guys don't need to worry about any micro, and you guys don't need to worry about using any abilities. Unlike when you use the Sato paired with the Dark Champ, you do need to rely a little bit on using some of Sato's abilities in order to make it past some of the first rounds. Alright guys, here we are on round 95. Now this is where things start getting a little bit sketchy, because our Prince of Darkness runs out of Bloons in his undead graveyard, which is super unfortunate, but luckily, because the Apache Prime is such a beast at dealing with some of these BTD Bloons, we were able to easily deal with round 95. Now, the only reason we were able to deal with round 95 is that our Prince of Darkness got just enough Bloons in his undead graveyard in order to deal enough damage to the BT Bloons in order for our Apache Prime to finish them up. Now that's where the big thing comes in play, is like, if the Prince of Darkness does not have enough Bloons in his undead graveyard to do that damage to the BT Bloons, that means that unfortunately we probably would have lost. But luckily, because the Apache Prime has his Razor orders, he was able to deal with those BT Bloons. Alright, so round 97, the first round that's going to give us a little bit of trouble here, because the Prince of Darkness runs out of undead balloons, which are unable to do damage to the reinforced ZOMGs. But luckily, we were able to get some of them back just in time in order to help out our Apache Prime. So here we are on round 98. Round 98 is another little bit of a sketchy round, guys, because the Prince of Darkness again runs out of his undead graveyard, or the undead graveyard is kind of like taken away. Because of the fact that there was so many balloons clumped up that our undead balloons were actually dying before they got a chance to do anything. Alright, so let's just go ahead and slow things down here just a little bit, because we're teetering on the edge, and luckily our Prince of Darkness got enough balloons in his undead graveyard to go ahead and assist our Apache Prime one more time. Alright, so here we are on the bad balloon, and since we beat round 99, we shouldn't struggle with the bad balloon. But guys, I've had stranger things happen. If there was a reinforced DT balloon that came out of this bad balloon, I think we would definitely lose. But luckily, it's not a reinforced DT balloon that we're going to be dealing with. It's just a couple of normal DT balloons. Alright, so our Prince of Darkness should be running out of his undead graveyard here in just 1 second, so we are only relying on our Apache Prime to do all of the damage to the bad balloon here, and it should be popping any second now. Hopefully, it pops just in time for those last couple of baby, that was super close. But alright, so now we just have a couple of ZOMGs, and our Apache Prime should be able to finish up these ZOMGs by himself without the assistance of our Prince of Darkness. Alright, we have the Moab Bloons, we have a couple of Ceramic Bloons, and there we have it, guys. We have officially completed Resort 2 Towers Chimps. Then we actually managed to black border it too. I was kind of prepared to go ahead and do a home reset there, but luckily we didn't have to do it, and we have officially black bordered our 4th map. Alright, so let's go ahead and claim our prize. So we end up getting 2 monkey knowledge points and a wizard monkey from this. So you guys already know what that means, guys. We are going to go ahead and unlock the Vengeful Sun God. So what that means is that coming up, we are definitely going to be doing a Vengeful Sun God. Now, I do want to go ahead and look at a couple of different monkey knowledge points that I want to go for. So let me see. Bloons Jitsu and Grandmaster Ninja get an extra shuriken per throw. That would be really, really helpful. Double shot reduced by $100. That's actually really helpful too. But I think what I want to look at, or I think what I want to go for is I probably want to go for this monkey knowledge point right here. Now, what this monkey knowledge point is it's all Moab class balloons spawn in partially damaged. What this is going to help us with is it's going to help us with half cash mode once we start getting to some of the harder maps, and also it's going to help out a lot with some of the unpoppable game modes, and it will allow us to kind of come up with a little bit more creative strats, because of course the balloons won't have, or the Moab balloons won't have as much health. Now, so the next thing I want to look at is like what path I want to go for first. So main Moab cost reduction by 100, elite defender has no cooldown. I don't know about that one. Over here, purchase the first. All right, so this is another monkey knowledge point right here that I want, so I'm definitely going to be going for that one. Not first, but this is definitely something that I'm gonna get before I start visiting any other trees. Now, another monkey knowledge point that we could go for is we could come over here to powers, and we could get the pre-game prep. But because we have the mana shield, I'm not too worried about the pre-game prep right now. I will eventually go for it, but as of right now, it's not really needed. The next thing is, of course, going to be the support knowledge tree. This one would have helped out a lot, but because like I'm not really too worried about getting experience on any of my towers, because honestly we already have a bunch of our towers to the point that we need them. There are a bunch of towers that still need to get a little bit more experience, but as you guys can see, we have a bunch of our powerhouses. They're already maxed out. We just maxed out our healthy pilot right now, so guys, like, we are setting in a very, very good position. We already have like I was saying, we already have a bunch of the towers that we want to maxed out. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and go for this one, which is going to be naval upgrades. Monkey Buccaneer and Monkey Subs get +1 pierce per shot, which is really gonna help us out once we start getting onto the water maps. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please feel free to hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe as well. I do upload quite a bit of Bloons Tower Defense 6 content. But anyways, guys, you already know what time it is. I hope you guys have the most amazing day of your lives, and I will see you guys in the next one.